Hello, my friends, my brothers and sisters. Success is not an accident. It doesn't just happen to some and not to others because of chance or luck. Success is born out of habits, intentional, consistent practices rooted in faith and purpose. The first habit is having a faith-fueled vision. Proverbs reminds us that without vision, people perish. A clear sense of direction isn't just a practical necessity, it's a spiritual one. When you trust God's plan for your life, you align your actions with His purpose, and that clarity becomes a magnet for success. Faith doesn't eliminate challenges, but it gives you the confidence to face them with hope. A faith-fueled vision is the cornerstone of any meaningful success. It begins with recognizing that your life isn't an accident or a random sequence of events. It's a part of a divine plan crafted with purpose and intention. When you anchor your vision in faith, you tap into a strength far greater than your own. This kind of vision isn't just about setting goals or dreaming big. It's about aligning your desires with the purpose God has for your life. It's seeking His guidance in the quiet moments and trusting Him to lead you toward what He has prepared for you. Faith-fueled vision gives you clarity when the path ahead feels uncertain, and it sustains you when circumstances try to cloud your judgment. It's knowing that the dreams God has placed in your heart aren't there by accident. They're there because He intends for you to pursue them. This vision inspires hope even in the face of obstacles, reminding you that setbacks are not the end of the story, but stepping stones to something greater. When your vision is fueled by faith, you begin to see the potential in challenges, the lessons in adversity, and the opportunities hidden in what may initially seem like failure. It shifts your perspective, allowing you to approach each day with purpose and determination. A vision rooted in faith reminds you to lean on God's promises, trusting that He will make a way even when there seems to be no way. This kind of vision is not passive. It calls for action, for stepping out even when you can't see the entire staircase, and for believing that God will meet you where you are. It's about walking boldly, knowing that He who began a good work in you will carry it to completion. Consistency over perfection is the key to long-term success, growth, and transformation. Many of us find ourselves striving for perfection in every area of life, whether it's in our careers, relationships, or personal development. We think that if we can just do things perfectly, we'll reach our desired outcome or gain approval. But the truth is, perfection is an illusion. It's a standard that doesn't exist in the real world. Perception is an illusion. It's a standard that doesn't exist in the real world. And when we hold ourselves to it, we often set ourselves up for disappointment, stress, and burnout. Instead, what truly leads to progress is consistency. Consistency is the act of showing up day after day, regardless of whether you feel like it or not. It's about taking small, purposeful steps forward, even when the road ahead seems unclear. It's embracing the idea that progress is made one moment at a time, and each small action compounds over time to create lasting change. The power of consistency is not found in grand gestures, but in the quiet, often overlooked decisions we make each day. It's in the commitment to keep going even when we don't see immediate results. It's the willingness to improve incrementally, to embrace the learning process, and to trust that every effort matters. When we focus on being consistent, we take the pressure off ourselves to be perfect. We give ourselves the grace to make mistakes learn from them, and keep moving forward. Perfection can paralyze us, making us feel like we're not good enough or capable enough to reach our goals. But consistency empowers us to keep going, to keep growing, and to keep believing in the process. Success isn't about having every detail figured out from the beginning or being flawless in our execution. It's about showing up with determination, giving our best effort each day, and trusting that over time, we'll get closer to our goals. Consistency allows us to build habits, create momentum, and cultivate resilience. It teaches us that it's okay to stumble and fall along the way, as long as we rise again and keep moving forward. In the end, consistency builds character. It teaches us to be patient, persistent, and adaptable. It reminds us that it's not about achieving perfection in one big moment, but about doing our best consistently over time, trusting that the results will follow. A heart of gratitude is more than just an expression of thanks. It is a powerful mindset that transforms how we experience the world. Gratitude is not just reserved for the big moments, the milestones, or the major accomplishments in our lives. It's the daily practice of acknowledging the goodness that surrounds us, even in the midst of difficulty and challenges. A heart of gratitude shifts our perspective from what's lacking to what's abundant, from what's wrong to what's right, and from what's painful to what's healing. When we cultivate gratitude, we are reminded that even in tough seasons, there is always something to be thankful for. It could be a simple smile from a stranger, the warmth of a cup of coffee, or the comfort of a friend's presence. Gratitude helps us find beauty in the small moments and teaches us that even the simplest of things are worthy of appreciation. It fosters an awareness of the blessings that may otherwise go unnoticed, creating space for joy to enter our hearts. The heart of gratitude also nurtures resilience. Life is full of challenges, and we cannot always control what happens to us. But by practicing gratitude, we can change how we respond. Gratitude shifts our focus from the negative to the positive, reminding us that every setback holds the potential for growth. Every struggle can teach us something new, and every trial can make us stronger. When we adopt this mindset, we begin to see opportunities where others might only see obstacles. Gratitude is not just about being thankful when things are going well. It is a mindset that helps us navigate the tough times with grace and hope. It helps us keep our hearts open and our spirits lifted, even when we feel overwhelmed. In those moments of despair or doubt, a heart of gratitude allows us to find strength in the smallest things, whether it's a kind word from someone close or the sheer beauty of nature. Furthermore, gratitude is contagious. When we express thankfulness, it not only impacts our own hearts, but also touches the hearts of those around us. It spreads like a ripple effect, encouraging others to pause, reflect, and appreciate the goodness in their own lives. It creates a culture of positivity, kindness, and abundance, where we lift each other up rather than focus on what's missing or what's wrong. A heart of gratitude also deepens our relationships. When we take the time to appreciate those around us, whether it's our family, friends, colleagues, or community, we acknowledge their value and importance in our lives. Gratitude fosters connection, builds trust, and strengthens bonds. It reminds us that we are not alone in our journeys and that we are supported by those who love and care for us. Living with a heart of gratitude is a conscious choice. It's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life, to focus on what we lack, or to dwell on what isn't going right. But when we shift our attention to what we have, our health, our loved ones, our talents, our opportunities, we begin to see our lives in a new light. Gratitude opens our eyes to the beauty around us and the goodness within us. It helps us live with more joy, peace, and fulfillment. It reminds us that the greatest treasures in life are not material possessions, but the moments, the people, and the love we encounter every day. Close quote. The power of gratitude is transformative. It has the ability to heal, to strengthen, and to uplift. It helps us move through life with a sense of grace and perspective, knowing that we have the ability to find goodness in every circumstance. A heart of gratitude doesn't just improve our outlook on life, it changes the very essence of who we are and how we interact with the world. It turns ordinary moments into extraordinary blessings. And in doing so, it enriches our lives in ways that cannot be measured. Discipline is not just about self-control or rigid structure. It is a divine tool, a gift from God that shapes our character, refines our actions, and guides us toward the fulfillment of our purpose. Discipline is the strength to stay on the path even when the journey feels difficult or when the distractions of the world try to pull us away from our calling. It is the willingness to submit to God's timing and to trust that each step of our journey is part of His divine plan. When we think of discipline, we often imagine rules or restrictions, but in the divine sense, discipline is a tool that helps us grow. It is a way of aligning our will with God's will. It helps us to focus on what is truly important, cutting through the noise and chaos that can cloud our judgment and lead us astray. Discipline becomes a powerful instrument that keeps us grounded in truth, wisdom, and faith, even when we face temptation or adversity. God has given us discipline to help us maintain a sense of purpose and direction in our lives. When we lack discipline, it's easy to become complacent, drifting through life without a clear sense of where we are headed or why we are here. Discipline helps us stay focused on our God-given mission and to stay in alignment with His Word. It requires us to put in the work even when it is challenging and trust that every effort is contributing to something bigger than ourselves. As we develop our purpose in contributing to something bigger than ourselves, in our relationship with God, discipline also plays a critical role. It is the practice of daily surrender, the commitment to engage with Him through prayer, meditation, and the study of His Word. Discipline in our spiritual lives allows us to cultivate a deeper connection with God, to hear His voice more clearly, and to receive His guidance with greater clarity. It is in the moments of disciplined prayer and reflection that we find strength, wisdom, and peace to navigate the trials of life. Moreover, discipline is essential for cultivating the fruits of the Spirit. Through disciplined practices like patience, kindness, and self-control, we begin to embody the characteristics that reflect the nature of Christ. We begin to show the world His love through our actions, thoughts, and words. Discipline allows us to nurture these qualities, not through our own strength, but through the grace and power of the Holy Spirit working in us. It empowers us to rise above the challenges we face, knowing that God's Spirit equips us to bear good fruit in every season of life. Discipline also enables us to be good stewards of the resources God has entrusted to us. Whether it's our time, our talents, or our finances, discipline teaches us to manage these gifts responsibly. We learn to invest wisely in our relationships, in our personal growth, and in the service of others. By practicing discipline, we can avoid the pitfalls of procrastination, selfishness, and wastefulness, choosing instead to make the most of the opportunities God places before us. We align our choices with our values and our mission, ensuring that our lives reflect God's kingdom rather than the distractions of the world. God's given me information. He says, let me hear it. In the context of our personal development, discipline is the foundation upon which we build our dreams. We cannot achieve our goals, whether they are spiritual, personal, or professional, without consistent effort and perseverance. Discipline empowers us to take small, intentional steps toward our aspirations, even when the journey seems long or arduous. It teaches us that success is not always about immediate results, but about staying faithful to the process and trusting that God's timing will unfold the blessings in due season. Finally, discipline strengthens our resilience. Life is full of challenges, obstacles, and setbacks. But with discipline, we learn to persevere. We develop the mental and emotional fortitude to keep going, even when we face disappointment or failure. Discipline teaches us to trust in God's sovereignty, knowing that every setback is an opportunity for growth and refinement. It helps us remain committed to our purpose, even in the face of adversity, and to keep our eyes focused on the bigger picture of God's plan for our lives. Discipline, then, is not a burden or a restriction. It is a divine tool that aligns us with God's purposes, strengthens our faith, and empowers us to live out His calling for our lives. It transforms our character, nurtures our relationship with Him, and equips us to impact the world around us. As we embrace discipline in every area of our lives, we discover the fullness of God's blessings and experience the abundant life He desires for us. And through discipline, we become the people God has created us to be, walking faithfully in His light and fulfilling His purpose for our lives. Serving others is more than a simple act. It is a powerful expression of love, humility, and purpose. It is a reflection of God's own heart, a way of embodying His compassion, grace, and mercy in the world around us. When we serve others, we follow the example set by Christ, who came not to be served, but to serve. In every act of service, we mirror His selflessness and His desire to make a tangible difference in the lives of those around us. Serving others begins with a mindset shift, a shift from focusing on ourselves to focusing on the needs of others. It requires us to open our hearts and our hands, to be present with those who are hurting, struggling, or in need. Often it's easy to get caught up in our own busyness, in our own plans and goals. But serving others reminds us that life is not just about us, but what's your influence in solving others' lives? By becoming more connected with those around you, it reveals life within the tiny lives. It's about the impact we have on others, the ways we can make someone's burden a little lighter or their heart a little brighter. One of the most powerful aspects of serving others is that it breaks down barriers. When we serve, we move beyond differences, whether they be social, economic, or cultural, and we connect on a deeper, more human level. We begin to see people not just as strangers or acquaintances, but as fellow human beings with stories, dreams, and struggles of their own. Serving others helps us develop empathy to truly understand and feel the pain, joy, and hope of those around us. It removes the walls that divide us and unites us in our shared humanity. Service is not always about grand gestures or big acts of charity. It can be as simple as offering a listening ear to a friend, helping a neighbor with groceries, or volunteering at a local shelter. It's about the little things, the moments when we choose to put aside our own agenda and step into someone else's world. In those moments, we not only bless others, but also open ourselves to receive a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. When we serve others, we also discover our own strength and resilience. We are often stretched in ways we never expected, learning to step outside of our comfort zones, to give of our time, resources, and energy. Serving requires sacrifice, but it also builds character. It helps us grow in patience, humility, and kindness. We learn that service is not always easy, but it is always worth it. Through service, we are refined and our hearts are transformed. Moreover, serving others allows us to become conduits of God's love and grace in the world. As we extend a helping hand, we are often serving as vessels through which God's power and presence can flow. Our acts of kindness and service have the potential to create ripple effects, touching lives in ways we may never fully understand. Sometimes it's in the smallest acts of service that we make the greatest impact. A smile, a kind word, a gesture of generosity can change someone's entire day and even their outlook on life. Serving others also teaches us gratitude. When we take the time to serve, we are reminded of the many blessings we have in our own lives. It helps us cultivate a sense of thankfulness for the things we often take for granted: our health, our family, our home, and the opportunity to make a difference. As we give to others, we receive in return. We experience joy, fulfillment, and a deeper sense of connection to the world around us. Service reminds us that it's not about accumulating wealth or status, but about the relationships we build and the lives we touch. But perhaps the most beautiful thing about serving others is that it leads us closer to God. When we serve, we are walking in the footsteps of Christ. His life was marked by acts of love and service, and as we follow His example, we grow closer to Him. Serving others becomes an act of worship, a way to honor God and reflect His goodness in the world. It's through serving that we find true fulfillment, because in serving others, we are doing exactly what God created us to do. As we embrace a lifestyle of service, we open ourselves up to experiencing the full richness of life. We grow in love, compassion, and understanding, and we begin to see the world with new eyes. Serving others allows us to make a lasting impact, to change lives and communities, and to become the hands and feet of Christ in the world. It is through service that we not only fulfill God's call for our lives, but also experience the deep, unshakable joy that comes from living out our divine purpose. In conclusion, cultivating habits that attract success is not just about striving for achievement. It's about aligning our actions with a deeper sense of purpose. As we develop faith-fueled vision, stay consistent in our efforts, and remain disciplined in our pursuits, we open ourselves to greater possibilities. A heart of gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, fostering a mindset of abundance. Us phenomenally serving others with humility and compassion builds a legacy far beyond personal success. It creates a ripple effect of kindness and positive change. When we embrace these habits, we don't just attract success in material terms, we attract peace, fulfillment, and purpose. Through disciplined actions and a servant's heart, we become conduits for God's blessings, not only transforming our own lives, but the lives of others. As we embody these habits, we become living examples of the success that comes from aligning with divine principles.